Hi everybody, we're in the mountains again and it's going to be December. A year ago we had no snow and this year, look at this, it's all white, extremely cold, -10 Celsius, but with the sun it's much better, especially walking up this hill. I might post a picture later on of this hill. It's quite steep, and between the sun and the walk, it warms you up. I like to take videos here because I think it's an example of a place where there's very little disturbance, little noise disturbance. The air is very, very pure. And we can see nature, we can see glacier, the glacier of the Étendard at the back, that still has snow in the summer for a few more years until this is over. Because as you know, we are warming the planet and the governments are not taking that seriously yet. So it'll take a few more years before people realize that we need to do something before problems happen. When I got to this place, they were forecasting snow. And the first thing I got was snow chains. They have these things called socks for tires. And when you put the sock on the tire, you get better grip. But there's only limited supply of that. And last night, as the weather forecast is now more certain, people are rushing to get these. And they can't find these anymore because the limited supply is such that if there's snow everywhere, even in the city, well, there's not enough of them. So it's the journalist was commenting that people always wait for the last moment. So you can see that this theme is recurring. Always waiting for the last moment. And it's a shame because it doesn't have to be that way. So this year I decided to share that a little bit better with you all in this book called Robustness, discussing a lot of examples and how some people are so good at preventing, at seeing things 10 years later, 10 years early, 20 years early. And because they see this 10 years early, 20 years early, they don't have to be forecasters. We don't have to be a forecaster to see that CO2 levels are at the highest in hundreds of thousands of years. The highest in hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions. I haven't checked the latest data, but it's never been so high. And when it starts really becoming a problem, well, it's going to take a long time to put it back into the planet, to trap it back. So it's not about forecasting. It really is about seeing the obvious and acting the way we can. Sometimes we can't always forecast everything. And sometimes we can see things coming, but there's nothing we can do about it. But to the extent we can do something about it, that's what robustness is about. And, some people think that doing this is actually being pessimistic, being negative, being kind of a down attitude. And they think that that's the way you perceive life. If you say those things, if you act like this, you're kind of a downer. And it's actually the other way around. I mean, I did this interview this week with Robert Marchand, 106. Very few of us will get to live 106, but that's not the point. The point is that he calls himself a pessimist. He's always called himself a pessimist, but he is so joyful. He is such a party guy. He's such a joker. And that's what robustness, I think, the underlying feeling of robustness is about, which is that you see things the way they are, And to some extent, when you talk about this, people think that it's being negative about it. Well, it's not being negative about it, it's just seeing reality, that's all. And if we see reality, we are so much better prepared to face life. That's hard. Life is tough. And so that's what I wanted to share with you, which is this joy of life, this beautiful landscape. Look at this. Nothing. There was just some animals just a moment ago. Some tracks of animal that is having a good time here. A good time in these mountains. Let's turn around a little bit more without falling, because it's quite steep. Look at this. I tried not to fall, but last year I was running on this hill and I slipped on a piece of ice, and for 2 months my hip was not happy. 2 months. It got better, but this year I tried not to run too fast or anything. But the point is not really about the fall. It's just that we're very lucky to be in this really beautiful planet. And this is the planet that we're going to leave to our kids. So if you have kids, think about them, think about what we can do, and I think we can make it good. We can continue having this beautiful nature. And until then, I wish you a great end of year, wherever you are, whatever you do. I think about you, and all the best. Ciao.